At 18 miles per hour, the sustained wind at 85 miles per hour. Not a lot of surprises with Iris. It's been a very persistent storm. And as you can see, it's moving now away from the island of Jamaica. Lots of heavy rain. We didn't do too bad with the wind, but it is aiming out towards the Belize area of the Yucatan Peninsula. And so no wonder we are now looking at hurricane watches for much of the coastal area of the Yucatan area. And we are looking no longer at the advisories that were in effect for the island of Jamaica or the Dominican. It does look like the Cayman Islands are still holding on to the warnings here. These are hurricane warnings, and yes, they are going to experience possibly some hurricane strength wind, maybe even some very heavy rainfall as we go into the next 6 to 12 hours. Let's take a look at that satellite picture, and we'll update you on we've lost the sun, the daylight hours there. Let's go to the IR. Here we are. Here's the island of Jamaica. The Cayman Islands out here, just beginning to see some of the outer circulation of the bands feeding in some of that rainfall. You can see that the circulation associated with some of the higher cloud tops is more so to the north and to the east of the central area of circulation. The projected path has not changed, so we do have a very good idea of where this thing has been going and where we think that it's headed. That's been very persistent, so we will continue to keep you updated. Eventually it does.
Hour of your weather today. Thanks for joining us. We'll take you
40 miles per hour towards the west, so in a beeline towards Belize. So we are very, very concerned about what's going to happen when it makes landfall, probably in the next 10 or 11 hours or so. We do think we're going to have a huge threat from the storm surge, which could run about 13 to 14 feet. Of course, flash flooding is going to be a concern, in addition to all of the heavy rainfall and the strong gusty winds. We have a number of tropical storm advisories. In effect, these are warnings in effect in the red. Of course, we have hurricane watches in effect to the north of the Yucatan Peninsula, and then southward down towards the Honduras border, we have hurricane warnings in effect. So something to keep in mind if you have interest in that direction, and we are looking at the projected path to take it right into Belize, probably sometime this evening, late tonight into the wee hours of the morning. As it is moving fairly rapidly, perhaps the rainfall will not be as long-term as it can be with some hurricanes. But like I said, the storm surge is going to be horrendous, and of course it's not expected to decrease in intensity much before it makes landfall. So it's going to make landfall probably as a Category 4 hurricane, or at least close to that. So once again, Hurricane Iris, we will be following for you. Elsewhere across the southeast, hey, things are looking
something unusual and especially dangerous about this storm. Hurricane expert Dr. Steve Lyons is here to tell us exactly what's going on right now. Steve?
Well, the dangerous thing about it is it's a Category 4 hurricane, which is very, very deadly. And the other unique thing is that the hurricane force wind radii are only about 25 miles, so it's a tiny circulation. Now, when you look at the satellite imagery here, the 145-mile-per-hour Category 4 hurricane is making landfall right on the coast. This image is about 9 minutes old, and it's showing that the eye is on the land very close to Placentia, just north of Monkey River Town in Belize. And it's going to continue to move inland about 20 miles per hour. And with that speed and with that intensity, it'll take hurricane winds as far as 140 miles inland, especially in the higher elevations. Now, what do we expect from this circulation at landfall? Well, the wind damage potential is extremely high, so any structures there, a lot of roofs blown off, all power lines down, all signs down, trees blown over, significant beach erosion. The rain potential at the coast is not a big deal, but we're going to see significant rain and possibility for flooding inland. Wave action at the coast on top of a very powerful surge as high as 18 feet just on the northern eye wall would be significant. Waves up the beach toward Belize City. You haven't seen much in Belize City, but just offshore there the waves are about 20 feet. This whole action of hurricane winds is only going to last a few hours, about an hour and a half to 2 hours, as the system blazes through. And as it blazes through, we expect it to continue on toward the west, but weaken with time. The circulation is very small. We don't expect it to last. The rest of the tropical Atlantic, we had a tropical storm out here, Jerry. It's dissipated. Now a wave. We'll monitor that wave as it moves over the northern islands. Another tropical wave out here being sheared by upper-level westerly winds, so that's not of any big concern right now. In the eastern Pacific, as we look at it, here's our hurricane, powerful hurricane making landfall, but in the eastern Pacific, very quiet indeed. We're in good shape there. We'll see what the damage...